everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and my channel is all about my cross-stitching adventures as well as my other crafting endeavors and the books that I read. And in today's video, we've got a little bit of everything. We've got a whole bunch of cross-stitch. We got a couple of little cross-stitchy haul things. We've got some crochet, we've got some Cricut, we've got a ton of books, and a little bit of life. But as you might be able to tell from my shirt, I recently got back from Japan. But my Japan information and crafting stuff and recap of my trip, there's going to be future videos, so stay tuned for that. But before I get too far into the video, if you've been here before, you know that I work in theater, and so I like to start my video off with a theater fun fact. And today's theater fun fact is about Frozen, the musical. Yes, it is based off of the 2013 animated film. The music and lyrics are by Kristen, Anderson-Lopez, and Robert Lopez, and the book is by Jennifer Lee. In 2017, it had its out-of-town tryout in Denver. And then in March of 2018, it opened on Broadway at the St. James Theater. It unfortunately was one of those shows that never opened back up after everything shut down in 2020. But after that, it had many different international productions and tours. It was on tour in the US for a couple of years. I think it stopped touring in the US in 2024. It had a West End show. It had a bunch. And it has also been translated into a couple of different languages, including Japanese, German, I think Dutch. It's a little hard to find what languages the musical has been translated to, because every time you look it up, it just shows you the movie. But I know for sure Japanese, because I went to go see the Japanese production of it, and oh my goodness, it is one of the best shows I think I've ever seen. It's just the stage magic is just spectacular. Even though I know how all of it works, it's still is phenomenal, and just how seamlessly it works and the projections that they use. And I do believe the Broadway production was filmed and is on Disney Plus now to stream if you want to watch it. I've never watched it. I just learned that while I was looking some stuff up about it. I would like to mention one fellow Flosstuber, as my dogs are wanting attention. Tara from Recovering Book Hoarders recently mentioned me in one of her videos, and that just meant so much to me. I love all of her videos. She gave me some really good advice when I first started working with Even Weave. And yeah, so go check her out. Her videos are really cool. She's got some really cool projects. So yeah, now let's move on to my cross-stitching. So it has been 43 days since my last video, and 10 of those days were spent in Japan, plus a travel day, and then a couple days spent at my aunt's house. So there was a handful of days there where I was traveling, that wasn't just in Japan. And then almost all of last week after I got back, I was recovering from jet lag, because a 13-hour time difference is a lot. In my opinion, it's easier to get accustomed to it, sorry about my dogs, on the way there than it is on the way back. The first time I went to Japan, 2 days after I got back, I went straight to my final semester of my senior year of college. I don't think I slept for a month. So this time it was kind of nice that I was able to just, sleep during the day and slowly get myself reaccustomed. Of those 43 days, I stitched a total of 30 of them, so that's not too bad, on 7 projects with 8,945-ish stitches. One of the projects I don't count stitches, and one of the projects was mainly half stitches. So let's move on to the first project. Alright, so the first project we have is Are You Pooping? And I don't remember if I have a before picture for this. No, I don't think I do. But before, in my last video, I hadn't moved the frame yet. I was still working on the top half, which is now folded up on the top. This is a gift for my aunt. She got this for me for Christmas to make for her. I think she got it from Amazon, so I don't know what the kit is from or who the pattern is by. It's, you know, Amazon. But I stitched on this a total of 12 days. I stitched on this on the plane ride to Japan and then a couple times in the hotel. So yeah, there is Are You Pooping? Obviously it's a printed kit. And it comes with all of the stuff. This is one of the bags that I made. And yeah, I am really hoping to get this done soon so that I can frame it for her. She's going to put it in her bathroom. And she's got a couple of other like cross-stitchy things in her house because she used to cross-stitch, I think. And her sister, my Oma, used to cross-stitch as well. So she got a couple of projects that they both did. And so hopefully I will have that finished soon and my cross-stitching will join her walls. Alright, so after that, I worked on the project that lives in this bag for a measly 30 stitches. And I think I can tell you exactly what 30 stitches I did. This is Ava from Nora Corbett. She is on a 16 count Blackberry Latte from Grace Notes Fabric. And so I did this skin stitching here. And that's it. 30 stitches. I don't know why I pulled this out. I think I had a desire to do it. And then I changed my mind. But yeah, I'm really excited about this project to work on it more. She's part of a whole series that I'm going to do where I'm going to turn all of the Bewitching Pixies into pink. So she is the one that was originally charted in pink. So there she is. Hopefully next time you see her, she'll have more progress than 30 stitches. Next, we have one of my own patterns, and this is available on my Etsy shop. I don't usually post my patterns on Etsy until I test stitch them myself, but this pattern was a request from somebody and I went through it with a fine-tooth comb before I published it. And so this is the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and I don't know what I did to myself because this is an extremely large project with a lot of stitches. I put a total of 241 stitches in, and I believe it was all this like border white of the banner. And this is on an 18 count that I tea-dyed myself. Alright, after that, we got this bad boy of a project. If you've been here before, you know what's in this project bag. This is Polaroid Princess from Abbie CourtDesignz. It's on a 14 count. I never remember who, but if you care what fabric, it is listed in the description below. And I did 2 more princesses. So, I don't even know if I can fit this whole thing. Oh, maybe. Can you tell which ones? Obviously, I'm doing it in order. Let me pull the 2 princesses up closer. Alright, and so I did Merida and Elsa. I did Merida before I left and Elsa since I have been back. And I can't. These are so good, but I'm so close. I'm so close to being done. So there's Merida. And there's Elsa. And I have 3 of these left. That's it. I think it's like 6,000 stitches left, or maybe a little more. I don't think it's quite 9,000. But I cannot wait to get this done. I've had this project on the go for such a long time. I got it when it was originally a stitch along. Unfortunately, you can no longer get this pattern anymore, but Abbie Sue does have some amazing other projects. Her patterns are absolutely stunning and so easy to work off of. lots of backstitching, but that's okay. This is the only project that I backstitch as I go. All of the other projects that I've done, I backstitch at the end. But after I'm done with each princess, I backstitch. And I'm so glad that I did that, because I don't think I would have gone back and backstitched if I didn't do it along the way. Because sometimes the backstitching takes like half as long as it took me just to stitch the princess, not the border. The border takes forever. That's because it's a thick Polaroid. But Elsa, sorry, I'm not unfolding her, was, I think, one of the most difficult ones to stitch, because before all of the backstitching was in, you couldn't tell the difference between the different colors of her hair and her skin. I couldn't tell the difference. They were so similar. Put the backstitching in, they're like, oh my god, I could see the colors. But I have 3 princesses left. 3 princesses. And then a 4th. But the 4th isn't in this. The 4th is like separate. But I will stitch it. That was like a free thank you princess at the end. I am so excited to almost be done with this. I am so close. I am so close. Only 3 princesses left. I cannot wait. And then I have another Abbie Sue design stitch along. Oh, that is the Fab 50 that you also cannot get anymore, unfortunately. But I cannot wait at all for that to be done. I have an idea for framing it, because I messed up on the border, because it was the first time I used a scroll frame. I learned a lot on that piece. I think I started in like 2023. Alright, so next we have Cherry Branch. This is a DMC pattern. It's one of their free ones, and it is on a 28 count antique white Lugana. And here she is now. I absolutely love how I could be done here and just do the backstitching, but I'm not going to do that, because how it's charted, it has like a giant sun here, and I'm going to change that up. I charted something else to go in there, and I am so excited to stitch it. So stay tuned for that if you want to see. But yeah, here she is. I absolutely love it. It definitely took me a while to get used to the 28 count, because I'm doing it 2/2. And I wasn't sure about the like center like gray in the flowers, but they are kind of representative like of what cherry blossoms are. And in Japan, so I worked on this before I left. I worked on it in Japan, and then I think I did a little bit since I got home. I did a total of 586 stitches on it since the last video. This project has a ridiculous number of half stitches, which was the point of what I wanted to, the point of using a Lugana for the first time. So while I was in Japan, it was like the absolute perfect peak cherry blossom full bloom. I'll put 2 pictures. I'll put one on each side. These are my 2 favorite pictures that I got from the entire trip of the cherry blossoms. And I already had like a little obsession with cherry blossoms. As you see, my shirt has cherry blossoms to begin with. But going there and just seeing them in full peak bloom was just like stunning. And I don't know, I feel really fortunate that I was able to experience that. so next I have 2 new starts since my last video, and they are both my designs. So we will start pulling this out. We will start, sorry, there's a hanging thread on here. This is A Touch of Darkness book spine. This is one of like my absolute favorite books. I designed the Pet Cemetery one here, so slowly I'm going to be doing some of my favorite books. And this is A Touch of Darkness. It is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I'm really excited about this. I did 587 stitches on that. And then, you know, I couldn't not have a new start while I was in Japan, because I don't know, I had to. And so the next one is also my own design, and it is Matilda. I did 1,416-ish stitches. And so while I was in Japan, all I did was this part that looks filled in here. Right? Yeah, I just did that filled in part. And then I can't move the needle minder because it is currently holding all of my like parked threads. But then I have outlined it all. So, and then the only color that's fully done is the very, very outside color. I've outlined it all, so it could be a very easy fill-in project. I was a goof, apparently, and I started it too close to that edge. I usually do a middle start, which is what I did, and it didn't work, apparently, this time. Because there's, like, no border on that side. Oh well. It'll be fine. It's just gonna end up going in my scrapbook anyway. But, I have worked on a production of Matilda. It was one of my, favorite shows that I've done with kids. I have done a handful of shows with kids, and honestly, sometimes they're easier to work with than adults. Sometimes not. But the girl who played our Matilda was so professional and like so mature. She was so good too. But yeah, so here is Matilda. Alright, and I have one last little cross-stitching update-ish. I haven't been to a Buc-ees since I think last September, but I finally took and updated my World Tour shirt. So this is now out of date because they've opened more stores this year. But I put an X next to the locations that I have been. So the green is when I was on tour with Taste of Ireland. There's one red there, which is when I was on tour with Rudolph. The pink was when I went on vacation with my family, and the white was for my best friend's wedding. So yeah, there you go. So as I go to more that are on this shirt, I will keep adding to it. Also the shirt is like ridiculously soft. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the couple pieces of haul that I got. First I got 2 digital patterns. These were from Bad Stitch for the Trans Day of Visibility. Unfortunately these patterns are no longer available, but go follow them on Instagram. I learned about these projects from another YouTuber whose name I can't remember now. But when I saw these projects, I was like, I have to have these patterns, and I am so glad that I bought them. The proceeds from the patterns goes to a really good cause. And so we've got Phoenix and the Phoenix Feather. And then from last year, I got Metamorphosis. So go follow them on social media, and next year, hopefully you can get these patterns too. And I'm sure they're going to have an absolutely fabulous project for next year as well. Alright, so the last thing that I got, because I needed to place another order with Fat Quarter Shop for more vinyl, because I think I finally found a 16 gauge vinyl for my project bags that I actually like, that's a reasonable price, and I needed more, so I couldn't just order the vinyl. So I got a project bag. It's so cute. So this is the It's So Emma Mad for Plaid project bag in Peony. And it's the like largest size that you could possibly get. And I'm so glad. This is so cute. I don't know if I will cross stitch anything onto it. Because there's a lot of like people who like cross stitch on these. But it's so cute and it's so large and I'm very excited. I have no clue what I'm going to use for it yet, and then I definitely need to get like some sort of like zipper pull to go with this bag. So if you have any ideas or suggestions on a zipper pull, let me know. And then stay tuned for my next video, because that is going to be my whole crafting craft store recap from Japan. So you'll see all of the stuff that I bought, all of the sashiko stuff that I bought, all of the yarn, all of the one cross stitch kit that I got. So stay tuned to that. I already filmed that and it's edited. I'm just waiting to put it up until after this video. So stay tuned. That will probably be out in about a week. And then I think the week after that will be my full recap of everything that I bought, that I went to, everything that I did in Japan, and my tips and tricks for all of that travel. And so, yeah. With that, that is all of my cross-stitching for the video. So if that is all you came for, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. But if you want to stick around, I've got some crochet stuff. I got some books. I'll show you a couple of the things that I got from Japan. Let's move on to what I have been crocheting. Alright, so we will start with the little washcloth that I made, or like hand towel, whatever you want to call it. This is a Hobie cotton yarn. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's... no, I don't remember which one it is. Either way, I have a Ravelry. You can go check out all of my projects there. All of the details, it's got everything, if I don't mention it here. But this is a double crochet in the space between the stitches. And this kit was in my bag everywhere that I went, because a lot of the bathrooms, even when I went to go see Frozen, the bathroom didn't have any way to dry your hands, so I had this so that I could dry my hands off. It was extremely useful, and it's cotton, so it dried pretty quickly. I never had a problem with it being in my bag slightly damp. It just went in my purse, and it folds up pretty small, takes up almost no space. It was great. Alright, so then next, this traveled with me, and I started the first one in the airport, waiting for the flight, and I think I started the second one too. But so these are pot scrubbies. So it is the Crochet Pot Scrubber by Cute as a Button Crochet and Craft, and this is a free pattern. I changed this up a little bit because the original one is a little smaller. I have made this before. So the original one's a little smaller, and I just wanted it a little bigger so it would fit more in the palm of my hand, and I think I got the perfect ratio. So this is made with Lion Brand Stitch Soak Scrub, and the color is Cabaret. And so I started that one waiting for the first plane, And then I think I also started this one as well. So this is, so you basically, you crochet it into like a rectangle, and then you like stitch it together and cinch it up and whatnot. So this is how far the second one is. My plan is to make as many of them as I can until I run out of yarn, or whatever you would call this stuff. This stuff is kind of horrible to work with. And I had bought like 3 or 4 skeins of it. I think this is my last one. I really hope so. I made a loofah out of one of them, and it's so rough that it hurts when you try to use it. And I tried to like combine it with cotton yarn, and that just didn't work. So yeah, now it's just gonna turn into scrubbies. Alright, so after that, what did I work on? Oh, I worked on my skirt. So this came with me on the plane as well. I did work on this on the plane there. And this is my very vibrant hot pink skirt. So this is from some big twist yarn that I had, that I am repurposing from another project. And this is the Santa-inspired 2-piece, and I'm only making the skirt. It's a free pattern from Eleanor River, and it's just big twist value. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep going until I run out of this yarn. Alright, so after that, close this bag. This project I started while I was at Disney Sea. And so this is my crocheted sock. So yeah, there you can tell I got to the heel. This is the Herringbone Sock by Heart Hook Home. The yarn is Wonderland Dye Works in Mood Moss, and I got it from Weave and Wander in LA. And I absolutely love this. I split the skein into 2 cakes, so that I could better tell when I was halfway through, so that I didn't run out of yarn when I was making the socks. And yeah, it's a crocheted sock. I have made one before, and I really liked it. I have no plans on learning how to knit, but I like absolutely love this pattern. I think this is going to be a really good sock, and I love how the color is. And so I started this while we were waiting at Disney Sea to get in, and then also in lines. This is going to make me sound crazy, but slightly am. We arrived at Disney Sea at 6 a.m. for the park to open at 9. You heard me correctly. 6 a.m. for a park open at 9. You don't have to be that crazy, but I really wanted to ride all of the stuff in Fantasy Springs, and that's how you do it. So I think while I was at Disney, I got all the way up to like here, and then a couple days later I sat in like the lounge at the hotel and like did up until like here, and then realized that I didn't have stitch markers to do this heel turn properly, so I had to undo it, and then I think I redid it a couple days later, also still in Japan, with stitch markers, and it looks great now. But yeah, you definitely need a bunch of stitch markers for this project, and yeah, I'm really excited about this project. I haven't touched it since I got home, but I'm excited to continue working on it. It's going to be great. It's kind of become my thing that I will get a hand-dyed skein of like sock yarn, or if I can find sock yarn, I'll find a hand-dyed, like locally dyed when I travel, and turn it into socks so that I have a whole bunch of wool socks that I can wear to remind myself of the fun trips and stuff that I've been on. So next I'm going to show you my Fangirl Fibers monthly yarn subscription box, or subscription, where I get a hand-dyed skein of sock yarn every month. It's the Broadway and Beyond collection. So I don't think I've shown any of these yet. I had done her needle minder mystery subscription where you got a needle minder every month. That is the needle minders on all of my projects. They are from her Disney Attractions Club. And this time it is the I just couldn't pass it up. It's the Broadway and Beyond things, and so every one she gives you a nice little cardstock with some information about the shows, what show it is, and some information on it. I know all of these shows. I highly doubt there's going to be a show in here that I don't know, but I think they're really cool. So we'll go through because I haven't shown any of these yet. So this is January. Also, like, the label is so cute. And this is Phantom of the Opera. I think it's so fitting with, like, the reds and the white and the black and the... I think it's very fitting for Phantom of the Opera. Next we have Rent. And so I think this is also really fitting for Rent. I'm excited to like cake these up at some point and like unveil all of the colors that are inside. Because you don't really see the color of the yarn super well until you've like caked it up. You can get a good idea, but you can't really tell. And so these are 80% merino wool, 20% nylon, fingering weight. It is 400 yards, 100 grams. So I have no clue what I'm going to do with this yarn yet. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I want to do something wearable. I don't want to do socks because I'm already doing socks for my travel. Definitely something wearable in fingering weight yarn. But yeah, so then last March we have Les Mis. Again, I think this is super fitting. And then you've got some like speckling there. You've got like the greens. I think it's just so good. I'm so excited. Again, let me know if you have any ideas. So far these colors go really well together. But I definitely need some help and ideas, patterns, maybe something stripy, and then I could get like a neutral color or like a color to tie it all together. I don't know. I'm gonna end up having 12 of them because I'm gonna do all 12 months. Yeah, I don't really know what I want to do with it yet. But briefly, I'm going to show you just a quick sneak peek of the yarn that I got while in Japan. So we got this really cute bag. You can see some really fun yarn on the bottom there. We got this really cute bag with some goodies inside. And then this is my sock yarn that I got that's going to turn into socks. So I'll say it again. Check out the next video, and you'll see more details of all of that yarn, where I got it, the stores, all of that. Super fun. Alright, so next I will just mention I had been sewing up a storm before I left. I'm going to save all of that for a separate video once I am done sewing all of the things that I have planned. I've got a couple left. So that video will be in the future after all of my Japan videos come out. So stick around if you want to see that. I've got bags and other stuff. It will be fun. Next we have some things that I made with my Cricut. Obviously I don't have these with me right now because they were gifts. My niece is in a competition dance team, and I had made some makeup bags for them, like put designs on the makeup bags. And so I did two more. One was for one of her friends, Lauren. I think this design is really cute. And then the other friend was Coraline. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Not 100% sure. I think this one also really came out cute. Their dance school's color is purple, I think. So yeah, I think these are really cute. All of them were so jealous of each other for having them. And I have a sneaky feeling I will be making more in the future. And then my sister wanted some Dance Mom shirts, for her and her friends. So I made these shirts for them. They turned out cute. Nothing too spectacular. And my niece has type 1 diabetes. She was diagnosed 2 years ago. And her last competition a couple weekends ago was on her 2-year anniversary of being diagnosed. So I made this really cute shirt for her to wear to competition. So yeah, that's all of the Cricut stuff I made. Next, we'll move on to the books that I read, and I actually have some physical books. So first, I think I was reading this book during my last video, but I finished it. It is Verity by Colleen Hoover. At the end of this book, I was like, I was taken aback. Like, what? What do I believe? It's a good book. It's Colleen Hoover, so go read it. I'm sure I'm one of the last people who have read this, but it was really good. This book was a gift from my Secret Santa when I was doing Finding Neverland last year. So, after that, I read Sally's Lament. I have had this book on my shelf for quite a while now, and just getting around to reading it. I think this cover is so cute. This is by Mary Mancusi? I don't know. You can see her name there. And this is one of the, like, Disney's Twisted Tales. I think these are really cute, and I think this is one of my favorite Twisted Tale. One of my best friends has read this book as well, and he is in agreement with me where, like, a lot of it made sense for like how they were changing the story, but then some of it is just like, well, Sally wouldn't say those things, but it's fine. Because I was telling him how I was like, I want them to make this into a movie, but they would need to bring back the original writers of the movie to, like, make it sound more accurate. But again, not one of the original writers, not the point. It's a really good book, and I think the story is really cute. Basically, it, like, what if Sally found Christmastown first is the premise of it. I also think I had, it literally says it on the front. This is my third Sally book that I read, because I read, where is it? What is it? Where are you? Oh, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen and Hour of the Pumpkin Queen before these. And they're both really good. They're completely different stories. They have nothing to do with the original per se. It's after the original movie. So then after that, I read Lisey's Story, which I didn't realize how big and thick this was. I got this from the Strand in New York City on one of my trips there. That bookmark just lives in this book. But this was such a good book. I also just love Stephen King, so no no bad feelings there. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about this book. It's basically about this wife from a famous author who had died, and she, 2 years after he had passed, she's finally going through his like office and his manuscripts, and he was like, people were utterly obsessed with him, and people want like his writings and stuff, and there's a whole other world. It's a good one. It's a Stephen King. It's what you expect from a Stephen King. Nothing bad to say about that. So then after that, what I read while I was in Japan was Caraval, by Stephanie Garber. And then I finished Caraval on the plane ride home, started Legendary, finished that in like the last week, and then now I'm in the middle of reading Finale. So it's a trilogy. I am obsessed with these books. They are so good. I love her writing. I love these characters. It's basically like, how do I describe it? Imagine if like a traveling carnival was a game, but then it becomes not a game, and you're trying to win a prize by like solving all of these different like things, and these two sisters are escaping their abusive father, and then they get trapped in this whole world, and it's such a good book series, and I am so glad that I read it. Yeah, go check it out. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Yeah, I don't know what book series I'm going to read next. If you have any recommendations for books, let me know, because I would love them. That kind of was a sampling of all of the different kinds of books that I read. You've got these books here that I have. I have a book from a Goodreads giveaway. I thrift Stephen King books, because he's been around for so long. Why would I buy them brand new? Except for the like 2 books that I bought at the Strand. The 2 books I bought at the Strand, Pet Cemetery and Sleeping Beauties, are the only books that I've bought new. All of the other Stephen King books have been from like the thrift stores, and I love it. This was one of the like $5 books from Barnes & Noble that you can get at like the Starbucks when you get a drink. Of course I had to get this book. It's the Vanishing Cherry Blossom bookshop. Because, you know, I have an obsession with cherry blossoms, and there's a cat on the front. Also, this book is just, like, gorgeous. So that will be on my reading at some point soon. But yeah, if you have any recommendations, I love the, like, romantasy, fantasy books. Stephen King. Yeah, those are kind of my go-tos right now. But if you have any recommendations, let me know. So a little bit of life. So, since my last video was St. Patrick's Day, we spent St. Patrick's Day at my aunt's house. That was really great. Her daughter had recently passed away, so we've been trying to spend more time with her and just, you know, keep her spirits up. It's not an easy thing. She's had a really hard past handful of years, so, and she's like literally one of my favorites. She's the one that I'm doing the Are You Pooping for. So St. Patrick's Day was really great. She made corned beef. Yeah, that was really great. And then literally the following weekend we went back down there because we stayed with her before we left for Japan, and when we came back because we flew out of Newark. And so that next weekend we went back down because that's when we were leaving for Japan. I figured I would give you just a small sampling of the things that I got so that you can look forward to and have something to entice you to watch my Japan videos. Like I said, there will be 2 of them. The first one next week is going to be all about my crafting, and that's about an hour long. I already filmed that. And then the video after that, the following week, I think, is going to be my full recap with everything I bought, everything that I did. That one's going to be a little bit of a longer one, so you might want to break that one up a little bit watching it, or just like have it on in the background, you know. And yeah, so you might have seen me drinking this. This is a Sakura matcha, and before I started filming, I filmed a little video of me opening this, so here is that. I'm going to open this. I got this in Japan. At the very end of my like full Japan recap video, I opened the like normal one of these. This is Sakura flavored matcha, or like cherry blossom. That's what Sakura is. And it was really good. Basically, it's like plain water that when you twist the top off, it like drops the thing, and then in the like lid is the like matcha. So this is going to be my drink of the video. So let's open it. See, I'll move just a little bit closer. Can't really see. That's so cool. And then you just close it again. And then shake it. And now it's matcha. You can tell it's now green. It's so cool. I got this at Don Quixote. Let's try it. See, like the matcha lives in the little lid thing. And then it just like, when you open it, it like pops the lid off. That's good. That's really good. Kaya apparently thinks she's getting some of this. Oh, that's really good. Okay. Oh, I'm excited about that. Yay! Okay. What are you doing? Say hi! Okay, go away now. And can confirm I still love this. It's so good. It's a unique flavor, and I can see how not a lot of people are gonna like it, but I love it. I also love matcha. We did a whole matcha tasting. It was phenomenal. I go very much into that in my video. I love Hello Kitty, so I got this. She is also a bag inside. I also love Evie, and so I got this because she's just so cute. She's living on my shelves. This is an eraser that as you use it turns more and more into Mount Fuji. So I got one for me and one for my best friend because she works in a school, so I figured it'd be really fun for her students to use. So yeah. And then the last thing I'm going to show you, because it was cherry blossom season, if you haven't gotten that yet. While I was there, I got this instant Sakura latte from Muji. So I'm really excited to try this. So yeah, I think that is everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me that you took a little bit of time just to see what I have to say and spend a little bit of time with me. Let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for the projects, for all of the yarn, if you have any ideas for what I could put on this bag, if I should take and cross stitch anything on it or leave it blank. If you have any book recommendations, let me know. You know, subscribe if you want to see more, like my video, that always helps. And yeah, I really appreciate you. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.